for America. Two horrific attacks. And good evening. We begin tonight with a terrifying day for America. Two horrific attacks, 700 miles apart, both being investigated as a possible terror attack. They come as the war with Iran rages on amid fears of retaliation here in the U.S. Right now, there is currently no known connection between a deadly shooting at Virginia University and an attack on a Michigan synagogue. But they have sent a chill across the country tonight. This was the scene outside of Detroit today, one of the biggest synagogues in the country. Fire pouring out of it after a man rammed his car into its doors, then security started shooting. The synagogue had trained for an attack, and security took down the assailant, who died before any lives were lost. And at Old Dominion University in Virginia, a man firing on military officers in training, killing one of them and injuring two others. He had previously been arrested for supporting the terror group ISIS, both being investigated now as possible acts of terrorism. The president last night saying they were aware of Iranian sleeper cells inside the U.S. These incidents, experts say, more likely to be lone wolves than directed by Iran. We'll get into that in a moment, but we begin on the ground in Michigan. Ty Steele from our affiliate WDIV is outside that synagogue. A terrifying scene at a Michigan synagogue today that's now being investigated as possible terrorism, according to the FBI. Police, bomb squads, and the FBI all racing to Temple Israel in West Bloomfield after reports of an active shooter and fire that was spreading across the sprawling complex. Authorities telling NBC News a man with a rifle drove a vehicle into the building with preschool in session. The suspect then managed to drive down a hall, but security guards working for the synagogue opened fire with the semi-automatic weapons. The suspect died.
It's hard to say how fast. I mean, he was traveling with purpose and down the hall.
Smoke, seen billowing from the building, is believed to be from a fire connected to the suspect's vehicle, which may have had explosives inside.
You couldn't even see the hall was completely clear. We had to send people in with gas masks to clear that area.
The sheriff says one of the security guards was taken to the hospital after being hit by the vehicle, but is expected to be okay. No Temple staff or children from the daycare or preschool were injured. They were all evacuated, and hours later, reunited with their families. The president spoke about today's incident.
It's a terrible thing. We're going to be right down to the bottom of it.
Law enforcement says it is ramping up security at all Jewish facilities in the area. Many were already on heightened alert after recent attacks against the Jewish community. From arson at a Mississippi synagogue to a car repeatedly ramming into a Chabad center in New York. And in December, the shooting on Bondi Beach in Australia at a Hanukkah celebration that killed 15 people. Temple Israel is one of the largest Jewish congregations in the entire United States, with more than 3,000 families. A rabbi there says they have had a plan in place in case any incidents like this one. And the sheriff says since the war with Iran began, they've been coordinating with law enforcement at all levels.
We've been talking for 2 weeks about the potential, sadly, of this happening, so there was no lack of preparation.
Tonight, the community is shaken.
This is senseless. It's senseless. We have to be better than this. This is not okay. So that's all I want. Everyone to be okay.
And with that, Ty Steele joins us now live from outside.
Shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off getting all honor and glory and praise and worship to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaHakodash. Double honors to our apostle, our elder bishops, great millstone, we well, peace, citation to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Kadash, representing GMS branch here in Cleveland. Lord willing, to bring out an edifying lesson through the spirit power of Yahweh Shai. And as you can see, these T attacks have started. Now, they mentioned a couple of other ones, you know, from December, and there's a couple other ones happened last year as well. But the point is that you know, it's more relevant now. I mean, which we was telling you, we've been warning Jake about this, that it was going to be T attacks, all right, to issue in the next phase of lockdown. Okay, whether they add and whatever one come first, whether it's another Slamic, all right, where they had to shut it down on top of, or just, you know, or mainly these T attacks. And this is a perfect opportunity to use these T attacks, all right, for what they are. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures, I mean, not the scriptures, but it's a saying that says, this is a saying, says, never, I think it's about Napoleon, but let me see. I don't know. It says, never let a good crisis go to waste. It's a famous political aphorism advising that times of disruption. Man, I ain't gonna read all that, but yeah, that's the point. The point is that the famous quote is, never let a good crisis go to waste. You know? And this is a perfect opportunity for them not to let a good crisis go to waste. You know? And I don't know what the hell was that. I think a bird just fell out the sky and hit my window, which is an omen, right? This place is falling. This place is falling, man. okay, is falling, and there is no healing Babylon. You know what I'm saying? So they got these T attacks lined up, as you heard on the video. Damn, what he say? He said, let me see if I can. It's towards this end. Hold up.
Australia at a Hanukkah celebration that killed 15 people. Temple Israel is one of the largest Jewish congregations in the entire United States, with more than 3,000 families. A rabbi there says they have had a plan in place in case any incidents like this one. And the sheriff says since the war with Iran began, they've been coordinating with law enforcement at all levels.
We've been talking for 2 weeks about the potential, sadly, of this happening, so there was no lack of preparation.
Right. He said they've been talking for 2 weeks and there was no lack of preparation. So this thing, so how they're gonna go about you know, so-called protecting U.S. citizens and, you know, doing this and that, because they already said that Iran already tried to assassinate Trump twice. Okay, how do you know it was Iran, man? Listen, you got to understand too, the devil is a master wizard. Like, for example, I saw a video where and remember the tiny caps, they're running the show. So I saw a video where not America, but I saw a video where it was a newscaster video that was over there in Israel, and the lady that they were showing that got murked in the process of war, one of the young women that they was like, yeah, she's died in this. They were showing victims who might have passed away, or who did pass away in this war. One of the victims was watching her own self be displayed on the TV, and they said she died, and she was recording herself. She was like, what? I mean, she was talking in Yiddish, right? Because they're former Hebrew, but she was talking in their former Hebrew, saying, you know, I couldn't understand what she was saying, but basically she was saying, like, nigga, what is y'all doing? like how y'all saying I died? How y'all saying how she all saying she died, and she was sitting on the couch watching herself be displayed on the news as if she died, man. Another example, they have body bags on the ground and some niggas be moving inside the body bags. So they exert, or they overexert, all right, the war. If that's the right way to say that. Damn, what's the word? You know, they make it seem like it's worse than it is, which it is bad because it's prophecies. But these devils make certain things seem worse than it is so that they can make their next move. So that's the point. Here in America, you have, it said they're aware of sleeper cells here in America, which there are sleeper cells. There are real sleeper cells, okay? And there are fake sleeper cells. There are sleeper cells that are set up by the government, that is paid by the government. All right, it might be sleeper cells set up by the government that think they're set up by their country. It might be real Iranian sleeper cells that's set up and they think that they're on a mission because ISIS or Al Qaeda or some type of you know, someone from their country has sent them or set them up, and the whole time it'd be the U.S. government, man. The whole time it'd be the small hats to play out these different attacks, man. You know, so get ready for this place to be shut down, man. All right, get ready for this place to be shut down. Okay. And Shalom, Akim, and Aqua that's tuning in. Second Esdras. This is Second Esdras 15. Woo. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because death and destruction is promised to the world. Okay, it's going to be mainly here in Babylon the Great, but the main but it's happening across the world, as we can see. Okay, it says, woe, death and destruction to these people, man. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and it's near, right? We have to have chaos before there's peace. Chaos have to happen before there's peace. The peace that's coming is the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, not the kingdom of the Edomites. We're already in the kingdom of the Edomites. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, right? An angry uprising against the government. All right, insurrection, a lack of the war against the government, the war against the powers that be, the war against the civilians, so civil war, incontinency, lack of control. These are the words that the Bible used, all right, to describe the times that we're currently in, not going into, that we're currently in. It says, and they shall not regard, it says, sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Why? Because the government has failed them. You have videos where people have said that they can't believe that the government has betrayed them. They feel betrayed by the government. They feel betrayed by Donald Trump and their votes and their dedication and commitment to America. They feel betrayed. Nothing Trump did said he was going to do before he took office, he's done, right, to help the people. Oh yeah, you know, we're winning the war. You know, we're the best country in the world. We have the strongest military in the world. That's all this nigga say, man. Okay. And then Obama was a terrible president. Okay. Biden was a scary president. China. Like, the niggas say the same shit over and over again, man. This nigga is crazy, man. He's a madman, Your Honor. My nigga Jim Carrey on Liar. He's a madman, Your Honor. All right. It says, 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right? Because why? Garrisons, martial law, checkpoints. Right? He's going to crash. He's going to use this Iranian war, like we've been saying over and over again, like a broken record. Using this Iranian war, what? To bring in the next phase of his NWO, which is what? Total control via the micro C-HIP. Okay? Via the micro C-HIP, man. Checkpoints. You can't go here. You can't go to this store. You can't buy and sell unless you have that mark. This way we can know who's a terrorist or not. All right? This way we can know who's an enemy of the state or not. All right? Because your genetic makeup is combined. Your DNA starts to combine with this technology to be able to understand who's who and what's what and where's what. Because we can't be everywhere at the same time. So putting this micro C-HIP in you allows us to have bird's eye view and to have a vision in places where we might not have access to, such as homes, buildings, you know, secret meetings, and so forth. They can still have access to it via the micro C-HIP. And if they cause everybody, both small and great, rich and poor, to get this thing, then they have total control. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and a man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Let's go to, let me see, tribulation. Let's see what this word tribulation say. It says state or condition of great affliction, right? So it's going to be great affliction here in Babylon, man. That's why the scripture call it Jacob's trouble, a time like never before. Oppression, suffering, or distress, physical, emotional, or spiritual. Distress, affliction. To press. And these people are about to be pressed on, man. Okay? No one's going to have pity, meaning mercy upon their neighbor, because why? They're going to be pressed on. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. People are going to be afflicted. There's another video that
thinking in terms of storing food and any other items. So that's my first piece. In a few months, they won't be available because the petroleum industry has a big role to play. Of any kind, you better go out and buy all.
Now listen to this dude real quick and we close.
All the medicine. I would say the following. First of all, if you need.
It says, get ready, hard times are coming. Is that not what we read in the scriptures? Huh? Hold on, let me get one more and then we can finish with that. Hard times, tribulation, pressed on. That's what it said. In that time shall Michael, Daniel 12:1, Michael shall stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, which is the children of Israel, you blacks, Hispanic, native, Seminole, Indians. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, and everyone that shall be found written in the book. What book? The book of life. The book of remembrance. Right? That day is great. There is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Daniel 7:30. Jeremiah 30:7. We usually start at the 4th verse or the 5th verse, but I'm going to just read the 7th verse. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So the elect going to be saved out of it, man. The rest of you niggas is done for. So it says, get ready, hard times are coming.
Medication of any kind, you better go out and buy all the medicines you can get. Because in a few months, first of all, if you need medication of any kind, you better go out and buy all the medicines you can get. Because in a few months, they won't be available. Because the petroleum industry has a big role to play in the production of pharmaceuticals. So that's my first piece of advice. And secondly, start thinking in terms of storing food and any other items that you think you may need. Because as this war continues, and it's going to continue, the impact that I talked about earlier is going to be felt here. There is no evidence that anybody in Tehran is going to pop up on the phone, call President Trump and say, oh, we're so sorry, we surrender, we'll do whatever the Israelis want us to do. Because that's really what it's all about. Now, we have other interests here. We think we're harming China. I don't know what the Chinese...
So that's the point. Niggas who rely on medicine, he said, niggas who rely on medicine, he said, you better get it, stocks of it now, because you're not going to be able to get it here soon. Yo, war is coming to this place. Okay? Come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, man. This place is meant for destruction, and this has to happen. It's inevitable. The things that's being displayed on the earth and here in America, man, and Babylon the Great, man. Okay. So these sleeper cells is activated. All right. So expect us to be grouped with these people, because Cap Malone and all the niggas like that try to group us with Islam, which we're not Islam. We're not Muslim. We are the children of God. We're the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're the true Israelites. We're the true Israelites that the Bible speak of. Nothing else. All right. And they're going to try to group us all together. They're going to, we talk against the small caps, and they're going to deem those things to be anti. So they're going to come down harder than they ever did. They're going to protect them like none other. So expect knocks on your door. Expect people to roll up on us at camp, because the scripture talk about great persecution, all right, upon those who fear the Lord. Soon the men of the Lord are going to get touched, all right, and the ones that are for Yahweh Shai, they're not going to fold, they're not going to break. We going to bend, but we're not going to break. right? They're going to take us into these concentration camps. They're going to take us and store us in these different places, right? Scriptures talk about that. Damn, Salakia. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. See, we're going to have to go through Jacob's trouble too. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. See? That ye may be tried. It's all about our trying, the final state of our purification. And ye shall have tribulation. Ooh, 10 days. We not just read tribulation. Great affliction. We're going to be oppressed. We're going to be suffering. We're going to be under distress. We're going to be physically, emotionally, and spiritually tried. We're going to be pressed on. 10 days, a complete number of days that this devil is going to try us. Some brothers less, some brothers many. Some brothers is locked up right, some brothers is in distress right now. Okay? Try. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, man. Whew. Lord willing, hey, Matthew 24, 13 verse, I believe. He that endure to the end, the saints shall be saved. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory from the praise and worship to our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakha Kodash. Double honors to our apostle of the Bishop's Great Millstone. Well, peace, citation, hopeful elect. Hey, Muaf Lapa Boy, Baba Boy. Shalom.